What's up, gamers? This is RJ from Game News USA here, back today with another movie review. Now, we're going to go over this Metacritic score for Imaginary. And, maybe I was hallucinating, maybe I was in a fever dream of some kind, but I thought the movie was great. And yet, the Metacritic is screaming that this movie is a steaming pile of garbage. So, where's the disconnect here? Let's find out. But first, please remember to subscribe. Imaginary gets a 34 on Metacritic. 34! There is 1 positive review, 9 mixed reviews, and 11 negative. What the hell? It makes no sense, because I watched the movie and I enjoyed it, but I'm crazy! So what's the explanation here? The highest review that was given out from the critics was a 70 by The Wrap, saying, Imaginary may not reinvent horror, but it knows how to conjure up a good time. That's the best thing we can come up with that can be said about this movie right here. So I guess The Wrap is the closest to my opinion about the movie. Now we're going to get into mixed reviews. IGN with a 60, saying, Imaginary nearly perfects its so bad it's good shtick. That must be it. That must be it. It must be so bad it's good. Apparently I like really bad horror movies. I don't know why, it just is a fact with me. IndieWire with a 50, saying even at its most entertaining, Imaginary has just about as much staying power, has the figments of imaginations that give it its name. Oh, get some ice for that burn. Holy hell. What are we doing? The Hollywood Reporter with a 50. Imaginary, which starts out relatively low-key suspenser with intriguing psychological depth, that's what I was noticing, eventually succumbs to the inanities plaguing so many recent horror efforts, like the killer pool in the same company's name, Night Swim. I like that movie too. Oh, I feel like this is a personal roast. The New York Times with a 50. Fans typically expect well-executed jump scares, fun plot twists, and the occasional rubbery monster. What they probably don't expect is the sophisticated allegory that Imaginary appears to be flirting with, and comes close to pulling off before losing its nerve. Variety with a 50. Imaginary, despite a few creepy moments, is starved for scenes that make the fear it's showing you relatable. Original Sin with a 50. Imaginary is far too long at 1 hour 44 minutes. The build-up has a few exciting moments, but the climax, intended as the film's centerpiece, is a dull repetition of hallways, locked doors, and unimpressive jump scares. The Daily Beast with a 40. A lifeless hodgepodge of the hoariest cliches the genre has to offer. These reviews are brutal. Total Film with a 40. There are some decent enough scares weaved in, including a powerful cold open and a pull-string set piece. But for a film about the power of imagination, it's frustrating how little it trusts the audience to use its own. Oh my god. Oh man. The Empire with a 40. Not a total catastrophe, but curiously close to being one. Is it too obvious to say Imaginary is simply lacking imagination? Let's get into the negative reviews. The Globe Mall, Toronto, with a 39, saying Imaginary is a dour, a slog, as Megan was. I liked Megan too! Why are they shitting on Blumhouse? All these critics just shit all over Blumhouse. Am I the weird one? Real Views with the 38. There's nothing imaginary about how bad of a misfire this movie is, even for the Blumhouse base. I just talked about Blumhouse, and they're burning Blumhouse. We got this covered with a 30. Imaginary is decidedly unscary, and a messy proof that horrendous scripts dwarf even the brightest premises on the creative food chain. I thought the premise was great. I thought it was executed okay. But we got this covered, said script was garbage. Polygon with a 28. Polygon. Saying, it gets lost in a maze of awful storytelling and frustrating characters, all without offering anything more than the stock standard horror tropes. Yep. Slant Magazine with a 25. The film never thinks to lean into the blatant silliness that its premise invites. They wanted to see more silliness. RogerEbert.com with a 25, saying, Imaginary is utterly forgettable, bland, directionless, ironically so. As for a film that lauds the power of imagination, it shockingly neglects the very element of its own ethos. The Guardian with a 20. Guys, a 20. Saying, aiming for more fun is no bad thing, but Imaginary is far too dumb and... yeah, it's far too dumb. Paste Magazine with a 20. A horror movie so derivative that it becomes uniquely terrible. Los Angeles Times with a 20. If kids can grow out of their pretend pals, so too can the horror audience of cynical snoozes like this. Collider with a 20. Imaginary is a mess of a horror film with poor narrative choices, obvious twist, and cliched characters. And that is actually the lowest review, is a 20. I was expecting to see like a 4 on there or something with how that was going. Good lordy. Can we get let's get an audience review. Okay, let's see. There was 21 critic reviews. Right now there's 19 audience reviews. And okay, I found a 10 out of 10. I found a 10 out of 10 from somebody on the internet who is willing to put their profile on the line to say this about Imaginary. And that's how we're going to end the video. A 10 out of 10 from Saber Firefly says, I saw this movie in theaters and it left me on the edge of my seat the whole time. Somebody drug test this man. Ding, 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 ding. Because, boy, I don't know if he was watching the same movie as the rest of these critics. But, guys, with that, that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you. Have a good day.